Hiya, this is Steve here. Hope everybody's okay. I've been watching on the news what happened in Las Vegas yesterday, and we're absolutely shocked over here. I just wanted to let you know we're praying for all the people at Las Vegas at the moment. This morning I went on another crate dig and got some awesome stuff, and I thought I'd make a film to show the spoils of war. The first two items weren't in the record store, and I went to a charity shop. Now on the whole, the charity shops were very expensive. They wanted £10.95 for a Dream Theater CD, and two Offspring DVD CDs were very expensive. I wasn't prepared to pay the price they wanted for them, so I went across the road to another charity shop and did have a couple of scores. And the first pickup was Meatloaf. I always get this album. It's his classic Bat Out of Hell album. But I mean, Bat Out of Hell's a classic track on this album, and it's got stuff like You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth and 2 out of 3. But the record on here for me is a one called For Crying Out Loud. To me, that's one of the most ultimate rock metal power ballads ever. If you haven't heard it, acquaint yourself with it. All the songs were Jim Steinman productions, and he used to write these long sort of songs. It's just out of this world. It's definitely worth the money I paid for it, which was 99 pence, just to pick it up for that one song. The next one was a real bargain, was Meatloaf again, and the best of Piece of the Action, and it's got so much music on. It's got all his greatest hits, plus a lot of the stuff I haven't heard of. It's even got a song called I Love You So I Told You a Lie, Ted Nugent featuring Meatloaf. So it's just out of this world. It's just got so much on it. But I just thought I'd do that for Scott Waters' benefit, 'cause he's a big Nuge fan. And yeah, it's just I noticed it this morning when I bought it. But for £1.99, I'll definitely pick up Meatloaf albums. Now back to the haul, the record haul. The first album I bought, which will be of interest, and that was this one. Now we had a little flicker in the shop, and this is the only album they ever did. They did one before in 1984 that was a mini album, and this band came from Dublin originally. They were They were managed by the same guy, Joe Wynn, who used to manage the Mamas Boys. Unfortunately, like a couple of the albums I'm going to show you today, they didn't do well. It sort of came out, and that was their last offering. But it's very good. I listened to a couple of songs. It's very proggy, and I'd agree with Poppy. Sounded like a bit like Bon Jovi, that sort of vibe. But I haven't listened to it all. But I only listened to a couple of tracks. But it's a killer cover, and if you have a look on the back as well, it's just got some amazing pictures. Really nice, nice for a sort of album like this. It's just probably a pity it didn't do very well. The next one is my old favourite glam rock glam metal band, and it's a compilation by a band called Rat. I'm not going to talk about this album. It's called Rat and Roll. And basically it's just a 83 to 91, all the big hits are on there. So yeah, that was a nice pickup because I haven't got it. Now I've got to be very careful with this one, because I'm going into Blackmore Rules territory now. I don't want a hockey stick sort of use a suppository without lubrication. So I picked up this album. And this is I think it's the, I made some notes, 9th studio album by April Wine. I've never heard any of their music, but I thought I'd hold it up. So Greg, you know I've been doing the stuff and buying the records, but Scott Waters said he liked it on his channel, and I've never come across an April Wine album before. But funny one, this one was recorded in England, in Oxford, and when I go on the train down south I go through Oxford, and it was their 9th studio album, and it was recorded in Oxford after they came off the European tour. So yeah, it's April Wine, but it's something new for me. Now the next three ain't new, because they were or are a local band. and that's this one, the old Slade. Slade originated from Wolverhampton, and these albums are such pristine condition. For £4 each I purchased them, and they're in absolutely very good plus condition. An amazing Kamikaze Syndrome. I've got Slade Smashes, which is that one, and I've got Slade. Now Slade is Noddy Holder and Dave Hill and a couple of other members. Hang on a minute, Jim Lee and Don Powell. But they are local. I mean, Wolverhampton's like 10 miles up the road. You could actually see it from my old place. But that's the local band, Slade. But I wouldn't normally pick these up, but because they're in such good condition, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to get them in that condition again. I'll pick it up. Another one I picked up today was a favourite one of mine, and this is a band from Rhyl in Wales, and this is called The Alarm. I don't know if anybody's ever come across this band, but they're definitely worth picking up. Their big hit was 69 Guns. That was in the charts forever. But I've got 4 or 5 of their records, but I haven't got this one. And this one also came with a 45, and it's still inside. But I didn't pay a lot for it, and it's a great pickup today, and I was really pleased with it. But it is The Alarm, and it's got a free single. I pay £6 for it, but it's well worth it to me. I'm not even going to attempt to put them into a genre. It's a rock band. I won't call it. It got some sort of posh name for it now, and but yeah, it's just a good album. Something you want to listen to on YouTube first, then check them out. I really like The Alarm, but now you have to bear with me because a couple of them I know, and a lot of the next lot I don't know. The next band I don't know. All I know is they're an American band from LA, and I saw them in Camberley and left it. So I didn't think it'd be my cup of tea, but then I picked it up down here because it was at a good price and it was in beautiful condition. And I've never heard it. I'm going to give it must be a live album, but I've never heard of it. So if anybody knows anything about it, can hit me up on the comments. I'll be really grateful. Now the next album was a great pickup, and it's now another one of these albums that didn't do very much when it was released. But it had a famous musician on, namely Mick Ransom, and now he used to play with Praying Mantis, and it's this band. And I think it's the only album they ever made. I could be wrong, but it was a UK rock quartet, and I love this cover, and it absolutely kicks bottom. It is we was listening to it today, and I thoroughly enjoyed this album. It's just really good. But sadly, I may be wrong, but I think it was the only one they ever did. But the lineup was Chris C. Jaguar. He went on to another big Wild Hearts or something. I might be wrong. Gary Mel, or I can't pronounce his name. Mick Ransom, who was ex-Praying Mantis, and Darius Ed Kane. It's 1988 pressing, 1988 release. Sorry, it's got a lovely cover. But it really does rock. It's a great metal album. If you see it, buy it. The next band is famous for one thing. It's the third King Cobra album. Now Wasp, Johnny Rod, he played with them, and I believed a piece had a year with Ozzy Osbourne. But I've got 2 of their albums now. But it's American sort of rock. It's a really good album. It's their last on Music for Nations, but it was their last album. Between the first and second album, there was lineup changes, I believe. Johnny Rod didn't play on this album, but it's just a great pickup. And I've got 2 of their albums now. I want one more to complete the set. Now, I haven't shown you the best pickup yet. For me personally, I got a Holy Grail item today. It may not be to a lot of people, but to me it was just an amazing pickup. Now you'll have to bear with me, I'll give you some background. In 1968-69 there was a scene in England called Afro Rock. It didn't last very long. The most famous band who came out of it was a band called Osabisa. I've got a load of their records here, and you may see some of their stuff a lot of their stuff in record stores. If you do, I urge you to pick it up and give it a go. It's sort of Osabisa is an English band from London. You had 3 Ghanaians or West Africans and 3 Jamaicans, if that's right. And they started this band and they played a lot of music with the African influence. Now this album is My Holy Grail, and this was another band that came out of this genre of African rock. Now this album, South African, it's a sagai means in African or South African it was a short spear carried by the Zulu warrior or general African warrior. But it's the genre is Afro rock, and then I think they made 2 albums, and this is one of them. And my heart started racing about 80 miles to the gallon. It nearly jumped out of my chest when I saw this, because you don't come across this stuff very often. But yeah, it's a really, really good album, and you got South African musicians on it, and it's sort of a combination of Afro music and rock. To prove my point, if you see the track listing, it's got Hey Jude by Lennon and McCartney, and you got some African music. They're just really, really, really good albums to look out for if you ever do come across them, because it was from a genre that didn't last long. I mean, it lasted a couple of years. And there is a comp going on eBay, and I forgot what it's called now. But pick up one of the Assegai albums is absolutely mind-blowing for me. I never thought I would, but I have today, and I'm really, really made up about this. Find, it's not every day you come across them. It's probably 1 in a million, and when you do, it's just such a great pickup. I can't put it into words. Now, I've got another album. I think Metal Mickey will raise his eyebrows when he sees this. Everybody's been showing it on the VC at the moment. That's this band, Vain. I picked up this copy for £4. I had a look on eBay. For the CD alone, I set you back 50 quid. And I couldn't believe it when this album was in the shop. And yeah, you've seen it with your own eyes. And that's Mick held it up last week. And yeah, I can't believe I actually got the album, and I've never heard of it actually, so I'm going to give it a spin and I'll review it in a later film. But the next one is a really, really, really good pickup again, and that's this album, the first Virgin Steel album. Now, Virgin Steel were a band from New York, and but my heart started racing when I saw this album, and it's in really, really good nick as well. But I wasn't going to leave that one behind in the shop. And it's got a great track listing. It's I think this is a 1984 repress, but I might be wrong. It was originally, I think, 1982. But it's got some great songs on it. And they were sort of very proggy, how can I describe it, sort of rock band. But it's just a killer cover. I just could not believe I saw this album in the record store. Just a bit of news for you. I have got a record collection coming tonight. A friend of mine's given me all his records. So hopefully I will make a film of them tomorrow. I have got another band, thrash metal band I've discovered as well I want to show. I was going to show it today, but I haven't had time to play it yet. But thank you again for watching the channel, and thank you to all my subscribers. And keep the peace, folks, and spread the love. Take care, everybody. Have fun.